Hello, everybody, and welcome to round 11 of the Vantage Indy Special League. This time, we're on Circuit Gilles Villineuve, up north in Montreal, Canada. Looking on the radar, we've seen some rain forecasted about halfway through the race. However, we're in qualifying, so it's going to be a dry session. Let's see what these guys can put down lap time-wise. Seems Rick Raven having an issue on his outlap. Made some contact with the wall on the exit of turn 9. That's been a very tricky spot for everyone this whole race. As you can see, Casey Keller nearly scraping that wall. See how Larry Miles does it this time. Through 8 and 9. All good on his end. Head back to Casey Keller as he's about to start his flying lap. Casey Keller only has one podium in the Vantage Indy Special League. I think he has the ability to change that today. Let's see what he can set down lap time wise. Through the second chicane, he's looking fast and good on those alternate tires, right up against the grass there on exit. See through that 8-9 section. A little bit of curb on exit. No contact with the wall. This lap is going to count as long as he keeps last few sections clean through the hairpin. Not running as far out as you would sometimes see with other people, but keeping it nice and tidy. Now down the long straight, all the way to the wall champions. Leo Delmas gets lap time down. It's a 1:22.7. Very fast for first lap time. Let's see what Casey Keller can do here in the 71 machine. Out of the final corner, what's it going to be lap time wise? Jace merited 4/10 worse than Delmas. Casey Keller nearly a second off, unfortunately, for him there. Larry Miles, he's next to cross the line. Where does he go in this? Ooh, only third. 6/10 off. Tyler Justice. He's on his way. Now down here. 2.5 seconds off. He must have scrubbed that lap, because that was very, very off the pace. Rick Raven, championship leader. Where does he go? P1 by nearly a second, 8.9 tenths. Very, very impressive for Rick Raven there. See, getting a little bit of grass there. You have to keep an eye out. This is very, very bumpy track. Very bumpy track. Can cause a lot of problems. Keeps it nice and tidy through the second chicane. Or actually, this is the third chicane. Correction there. Through the hairpin. Missed the apex slightly, it seems. Runs good chunk out. See, behind all the trees, you can make out the car of Rick Raven there. And he goes into the pits. Of course he does. Getting a new set of tires down. We'll note, skies are looking pretty dark here. Maybe seeing some wet weather. Casey Keller taking what looks like a slightly early apex through there. Might not be the play or might be the play. I'm not entirely sure in this instance. On the exit, looks like he was a little delayed there getting back on the power. So does he improve? He does, but only by 0.3. Doesn't jump him up any positions. Tyler Justice, he needs to make a big splash if he wants to move up there 3.5 seconds off the pace. Looks like he went a little too deep there into the wall of champions. Kept it off the curves, not something you see from all the drivers. He improves, but only by 0.4. He still has a lot of ground to make up. Rick Raven on his outlap now. Going through. Now watching Jace Meyer. See how big this hairpin is. How wide that exit is. Only a couple minutes left in qualifying. Jace Meyer currently second, half a second off Rick Raven. Hopefully he can improve that for his sake. Cross the line. Not sure if this is the start a lap. It might be because he's looking very fast. Let's ride on board. Now second through there. Watch his steering wheel. How tight he is on those RPMs, those gears. And how consistent he is with those movements. Seemed to miss his apex slightly there in the second chicane. Hit it the second time. A little sloppy there. Through that second chicane now to 8 and 9. Let's see how he does. Yeah, missed that second apex. Oh, that car's around. That's Larry Miles around. Made a mistake at the end of the second chicane, but Jace Meyer not phased by that. He's still going. Look on the leaderboard there. Tyler Justice has improved by another second. On his time, he's now only 2.6 off the lead. Getting closer to Casey Keller. Now, all that's left is the wall champions here. Final chicane. A little conservative on entry, but got down on the go pedal rather quickly. Across the line. What's it going to be? Doesn't seem to improve, unfortunately. Bad luck for him. Tyler Justice seems like he's about to come finish a lap. Again, missing his apex there on the first part of the chicane. I think that's his biggest issue. He's just going too deep in all the corners. Does he improve? Doesn't appear to be. Leo Dumas, is he on a lap? Or did he just finish one? Not entirely sure who is and isn't on a lap right now. Larry Miles might be after that spin. Someone needs over a second to make up. And he's still down, blowing by that first corner. It's a minute left of qualifying, just over a minute. So that means only one more opportunity to get those laps in there. Meyer into the pits. Justice, is he going to go pit? Currently in the hairpin section. Here's Leo Delmas exiting the hairpin now. Kyle Justice, he might, I don't know, I don't think he's going to pit because he doesn't have enough time left. He's going to have to stay out. Though he is pitting, he's going to end his day there because he's not going to be able to get out in time for another session. It seems everyone is pulling in except Leo Delmas. He's staying out trying to maybe pip his teammate there for second. Seems like he didn't get it, so he's going to call his lap there. So if I'm not mistaken, that's going to do it for qualifying. Everyone else is going to stay in. Yeah, no one else able to get any more laps in, unfortunately for them. Yep, that's qualifying over. Let's go to our grid. Rick Raven on pole with a blistering 121.8 lap time. Jace Meyer 122.3 in second. His teammate Leo Delmas lines up third with that 122.5. Larry Miles, championship rival of Rick Raven, in fourth, 122.7, I think it was. 123.4 for Casey Keller with a 124.5 for Tyler Justice. Rain is on the horizon. As far as we know, we have seen some weather on the radar. So we should be keeping an eye out on that. That could change things up. Let's see. None of these people really have practice on the wet weather tires. They're very new, and this entire session so far has been very dry. So curious to see how that changes things. See, there's your grid.
Guys, remember, keep it clean. It's going to be a little hectic in the 1-2. And rain looks like it's going to make its appearance in about an hour.
Rain in an hour, according to Hightower, our lead admin. Very, very important to note on that. Making sure the rain falls predictably. Hopefully no one is caught out by it. We don't want to see a disaster of the whole grid when the rain falls. And the field is away here. Short pace lap. But we got a little bit until green. Only the hairpin in the wall of champions, which that tiny little chicane will be led by the drivers. See what we're going to be looking at here for the race win. I feel like honestly we could be seeing Leo Delmas walk away with it. I mean, this rain is going to be completely neutralizing. I don't know how Rick Raven does in the rain, and we saw in practice he wasn't perfect through the wall of champions. So that could be changing things up. See, pace car pulling in rather quickly. Lights are on. Lights are off, and now they're on. Green flag is out. here for round 11 of the Vantage Indy Special League. Rick Raven, amazing getaway. Further back, you can see Tyler Justice trying to get around Leo Delmas, not able to be successful there. Note on tire compounds, Justice and Delmas on the black walls, Meyer on the reds, Rick Raven on the reds, Casey Keller on the reds, but Tyler Justice on those black walls as well. So a split bag there for the tires. Rick Raven, though, nearly a second in the lead already. See the field following him through. We just are hanging on until the rain. Sun's out, though, so it might be a little later than we expect when that rain does come. For the back, you can see here the two rodent racing cars might be starting to heat up a little bit. Further back, you can see in the back there, Casey Keller, Tyler Justice might be looking at something. Trying to keep an eye on this here on the radar as well as the gaps. Raven hasn't actually pulled away too much. He had an initial jump, but that's sort of stagnated. Same thing with Delmas and Meyer. They haven't really split up from each other. Larry Miles seemed to have fallen back from Leo Delmas just a little bit, but he could just be trying to hold out on tires. As we mentioned, with how long they can go before the rain, maybe some tire saving might actually help, saving fuel as well. They have around 17 laps of fuel, just under that. Oh, and Larry Miles nearly around Casey Keller off the track as well, and he taps the wall. Didn't see that turn 8, very slippery, catching people out. Casey Keller, if you saw there, he didn't spin, but he might have had to back out of it too much, and he scraped the wall there on exit. It's going to be very unfortunate there for both Miles and Keller, as they have lost a lot of time, and Casey Keller has picked up some damage. Jace Meyer has fallen back a bit from Rick Raven, but Delmas still right on him there. Now let's see how quickly Larry Miles can get around Tyler Justice. Justice about a second off Miles in qualifying there. So I'm curious to see how much this will cost him. See right up to the walls there on all the chicane exits. A lot of chicanes at this track. There's only basically 2-3 corners that aren't chicanes in this 14-turn racetrack. Gap's now over a second between Meyer and Delmas. They might be saving as well. Gap is only 3/4 of a second for Larry Miles and Tyler Justice. We could be looking at something start to heat up in the next couple laps. Miles with that terrible mistake there, but a good recovery after on the exit turn 9. Casey Keller had it straight, but scraped the wall there, unfortunately. Through the wall of champions. Justice pulled a little bit on entry. That gap is trying to come down now once again on that main straight. Just look at how well these cars just move through there. Even with the dirty air, they're still running rather quickly. You see that gap's now half a second. Miles closing quite a lot there on Justice. Justice peeking out. Sorry, Miles peeking out there a little bit, trying to get in the mirrors, maybe force a mistake. He doesn't want to lose too much time, so if he can force that mistake, he can just sail right by without having to worry about changing his line at all. That gap now increasing to 7/10. Though it seems like Miles is fastest in this first sector. Mainly that first and second corners. See, he loses a little bit there through the hairpin. Hoping to maybe get a rain update in a little bit. See when that rain is going to come down. But still very clear skies. If you look, see there. Not a cloud in the sky. They're actually just a little bit, but they don't look too dark. You can see how much better of a line Miles has compared to Tyler Justice through that section. Oh, Tyler Justice nearly went to the wall there. This is going to give Miles an opportunity. Not able to take it, though. He has to take the longer way around that corner. That compromises this chicane as well for him, unfortunately. So we're going to see Tyler Justice making more mistakes. That gap only 4/10 now. Miles seems to run slightly deep through there. He's also prone to mistakes. Through the hairpin, does Miles close it all? Pretty good corner from there. Though he didn't get the exit he would have wanted, it seems. He had a lot of track left to use. Miles now down to just 3.5 tenths. That increases under braking, but he's going to have an exit most likely. He doesn't. He seemed to back out of it a bit more than he would have wanted to. But this is his big gain here, his first sector. Through one, you can see how much he closes in. 2/10 just in the first braking zone. Well, a little bit 4/10 now the gap. Through the second chicane, this is where Justice made his mistake last time. Keeps it clean, but still 3.5 tenths the gap. Who Tyler Justice locks up. Gonna cost him. Miles backs out of the first part of the chicane to get alongside for the second. Side by side through 8 and 9. Both these drivers have made mistakes through this section. Larry Miles gets ahead before the braking zone, though he does run a little bit deep. But the overtake is done, and that's all that matters right now. Tyler Justice, though, only half a second back. Casey Keller able to close in. That gap's nearly under a second. At lap 10, I think we're going to try and ask and get a little rain update. See when it falls. 2/10 now, Justice is behind. He actually pulls the inside. It seems like he missed his braking there. That's going to hurt him as Casey Keller is able to sail right on by. Very, very bad news there for Tyler Justice. He gained a couple positions with the mistakes of Keller and Miles, but he just lost all those with one little mistake of his own. For the backup here, with second place, Jace Meyer being chased down by his teammate, Leo Delmas. Delmas got a bit too much curb there. Ooh, big wiggle on the exit of 9. Good save by him. Runs a little bit deep there for the hairpin, but able to turn it into a late apex. Very interesting to see how this develops. We're going to get a rain update. Lap 10. Seeing when further time on when the rain is going to come down there from the admin. Ooh, heard some scrapes further back. It seems that was Leo Delmas on exit there of the second chicane. That cost him some time there to Jace Meyer, his teammate. If you look there on the leaderboard, Tyler Justice is falling back from Casey Keller. Once Keller got around, there was no real fighting it. It's almost closing back to 2.5. Very good to see there. Could see a battle potentially form within the next 10 laps or so. Potentially if this rain comes down. We'll see. Now, important to note there that these guys on different compounds, I'm assuming none of them are going to pit before the rain falls. So I'll be curious to see how these guys like Rick Raven, Jace Meyer on the alternates are going to fare at the end of the run, if they can even make it to that. Because they might run out of fuel, honestly, before the rain. They might have to make a stop anyway, and if that's the case, should they just go straight to the wet tires? Because, as Leo Delmas has a little bit of a wiggle there. Because, I mean, you can't really you can't go much longer than after the first stop if the rain still isn't there. So they might honestly go to the wet tires when it's still dry out and just hope the rain is really soon after the pit stops. But if it's before those first pit stops, how far do you go before the rain is too much and you have to get onto those wet compounded tires? Lots of to see. No one's experienced these conditions before. No other series and no other series official or league have really done rain races, or at least races that have gone from dry to wet in these cars. Groundbreaking stuff here in the Indy Special League. On board now with Leo Delmas. 1.8 seconds off his teammate, Jace Meyer, up ahead. Runs a little deep there through the wall of champions. Still learning the track. Seems like he's backing things off here through the corners, just trying to keep it calm there, save some fuel. Actually, Tyler Justice pulled into the pits and seemed to have made an error as he's now retiring from the race. Seems he just didn't feel like he had the speed to compete and is not willing to wait till that rain comes down. Watching now Rick Raven, your race leader. He's going through. He's pulled a 5-second gap already. Very impressive. Through the wall of champions once again.
So just
keeping
a
it
little
clean.
update on the weather. It looks like it's still about an hour out, and the percentages have slightly dropped from 65 to 50.
Alright, so the rain is looking like it's going to be less than we expected. So these guys are going to make it to that first pit stop. But how much further is it going to go? So I think they will actually have to go onto those dry tires, pitting in about five-ish laps. So they're going to have to go into a second set of dry compound of tires. But then are they going to make it to the second pit stop? 53 laps. They're only able to make it around 16, just a bit over 16 laps on fuel. So this is going to be a multi-stop race, even if we didn't get the rain. But the rain's going to come down. So let's see if they can make it to that second pit stop before the weather hits. Rain seems to be moving out more than we originally expected. Going slower than we would have assumed. Rick Raven's tires probably aren't feeling too great right now compared to those primaries. He might go onto those for a second stint and then potentially go into the wets for the third. If we make it that stop before rain. And I'm curious if he's gonna try and back it down at all. Just save fuel, try and push it so he can pit less times. Because if he can hold out after his first pit stop till the rain comes longer than everyone else, then that's a big advantage for him. Because he is on the dry, then he'll be on the dry tires as long as possible without being in the pits. Because if we're looking at right around the lap 32, lap 34-ish pit stop, that can all be, if you can push that to lap 34 and when the rain comes, supposedly, then that could be very, very big. Obviously, the rain percentages are lower, as you heard Hightower say, than initially expected, and the time has been pushed back by about 15-20 minutes. So it could continue moving away, and we might see a dry race, but this confusion might cause different strategies than we would have initially seen in a fully 0% wet race. See there, Jace Meyer on the alternates, his teammate Leo Delmas on the primaries. That gap nearly under a second now. So you could see a battle start to form. Now if that's the case and these guys play nicely, do some team orders, or we're going to see a scrap to the pit stop. Oh, we won't see either as Leo Delmas nearly spins it. Good save by him there, overcooked it a lot. That's going to help out Miles. You can see that gap starting to drop now. 7 seconds the gap. Now let's see how quickly Delmas can close back in. He's already closed in a couple tenths of a second just in that one chicane. These are the better tires, most definitely, right, at this point in the run, but fuel is definitely going to be a concern. Delmas using a lot of push to pass. I know he did that same thing the last time out in Road America. Let's see how he compares to the other drivers. He has 150 seconds. His teammate has 148. Rick Raven not used a single bit yet. Miles only used 8 seconds. And Casey Keller down to 147. So yeah, push to pass, very varying between all the drivers. Most in that 150 range. Miles and Raven towards the top of their push to pass. Casey Keller at the bottom. Delmas not closing as much to this first sector. See, he's going to need to see a mistake from Meyer. We still got a lot of race left, so let's see how things happen after the pit stops. Big little bit of a wiggle there for Delmas. Gap increased slightly. Now Rick Raven, known for not having the best of luck this whole season, probably missed out on 3 if not 4 wins so far in this season just due to the bad luck. Think back to the Indy 500, think back to Milwaukee with mechanical failure. There's plenty of times where you can see fuel strategy, tire strategy, mechanical failure, and just mistakes. As Rick Raven into the pits, lap 14, first to bite on the pit stops. Hopefully for his sake this is the right call to make. Let's see Meyer in the pits as well as Delmas going in. Delmas also in the pits. Larry Miles going in as well, so we are out of fuel. It's time to go out. Let's see if anyone closes up. Gap was right around 5.6 seconds before the pit stops. Let's see what it is now. Raven out of the pits. Keller actually able to stay another lap. Casey Keller not able to inherit the race lead, but he's going to jump up to second place. Let's see how that strategy works out for him. Jace Meyer out next. Seems like he lost a little bit to Rick Raven there in the pits. He's on to another set of alternates. Rick Raven staying on the alternates as well. Leo Delmas now switching to those alternate tires. Yeah, they're thinking the rain is going to come before that second pit stop. Oh, Leo Delmas might need to definitely take another set of tires because, yeah, once again in that third chicane, or more like second chicane, makes another mistake there in what would be turn 4. Or actually 5. Yeah, turn 5. Maybe 6. I don't really know. The corners are very weird here. There's a lot of curves that behave in unique ways. But we're 15 laps into this thing. Casey Keller, I'm assuming he's got to be pitting now. Can he go 2 laps longer than the rest of the field? Probably not. Yeah, he's going straight into pits. So now the eyes are on Jace Meyer, seeing how he can compete with Rick Raven. He lost some time to Rick Raven. Couple seconds in the pit stops. That's one of his biggest flaws so far this season, is he just can't match Raven on the pits. Larry Miles closed into Leo Delmas a good bit there through the pit stops. Delmas lost some time to Raven. Keller also seemingly losing some time to Miles. We haven't seen much of Leo Delmas on the alternate tires, only used those in qualifying. Let's see how he can utilize them to his advantage. Take a quick look here at the sky, see if we can see anything. Yeah, still green, still all good there, or more like all blue, but yeah, no real cloud cover up above yet. Not what you want to see if you're predicting the rain. Through the corner there, Leo Delmas into the wall of champions. Closed in a bit already, right around a second on Jace Meyer. Meyer has actually closed in about half a second, maybe 6/10 on Rick Raven. So that could be interesting. Raven maybe backing down, trying to wait for the rain, hold out, save as much tire until he needs it. And once the rain comes down, you have to wonder, okay, how long can you push it on these slick tires before you have to go to the tread winds? Jace Meyer still closing in on Raven. Not as much as, more than you would expect, but not as much as he was in the beginning of the lap. Delmas seeming to fall back ever so slightly. Yeah, it seems Meyer has Raven in this first half of the lap, where all the chicanes are. Once we get to this back portion, where you can let the car sort of open up and take a breath, that's when Raven uses his advantage. Wall champions now. Meyer broke a little bit later, able to get some time. Nice and tidy there at the final corner. Let's see how we can handle this first little bit of the lap. Watch that leaderboard time. See how it changes and fluctuates. Move further back. Some contact that might have been Delmas as well. He's made contact with the wall a couple times there in that first real chicane. Spun a couple times in the second one. This first half of the lap in the past has really not been to Leo Delmas's liking. Meyer seemingly lost a little bit there to Raven that time by. Raven might have just had a little bit of an off lap and we just caught it at the wrong time. Leo Delmas, though, gained a little bit on his teammate. Miles lost a little bit on Delmas. Still no sign of rain. Maybe the track's a little darker now. Sun's being covered a little bit, but yeah, not as much as you would expect for a potential rain race. You can see there in the little glimpses of the clouds, maybe some dark ones starting to show up, some more overcast nature, but then the sun's back out. So I think the clouds are rolling in, but just slower than we expected. Gap nearly 10 seconds Raven has on Jace Meyer. Delmas, though, has closed in about a second this lap. Could see that developing into a battle. Delmas seeming like the faster car this whole race. Got bipped in qualifying by a couple tenths, but Delmas struck first. Indy setting the first flying lap. So we know he can heat up the tires quickly. Maybe he's just doing it a little quicker than Meyer.
With update on the rain, it is now 45 minutes out. It keeps pushing itself back, and the percentages are dropping. It looks like if it's going to rain, it's going to be a light shower.
Very good to know. A rain pushing itself back. We could be keeping it a dry affair today. Kind of like my last marriage. But all eyes here point to still a little bit of rain. Down to 30 minutes now, so we might actually be able to make it through the second pit stop. So if it's going to be rain, it's going to be quite last minute. Drivers might actually hold out until the they might try and hold out till the end of the race on slicks if it goes late enough. If you look at that gap there, Leo Delmas down to 5.5 seconds, closed in nearly another full second this lap compared to his teammate. Meyer might be trying to just save some fuel. So it could be very interesting to see how much he's able to save compared to the rest of the guys. Casey Keller could try and save some more laps. He went a lap longer than everyone else. He might try and push that to 2 laps. Those could be beneficial if the rain does end up falling down. Gap not really increasing between Meyer and Delmas. Maybe just a couple tenths here or there. Let's see if it starts to fall at all, or if Meyer is starting to turn up the heat a little bit. Yep, there you see it comes down through 8-9. Let's see if it falls any further in the hairpin. Actually goes up a little bit. How about on exit? Yeah, it does drop about a tenth there on exit. So the gap is less this time, but not as much of a gain compared to the last 2 laps. Approaching halfway now in this race, got about 7 laps to that mark. Curious to see how that rain ends up looking. Rain's, I know, is a big talking point this race, but I mean, it's looking clear now. So I'm curious if the rain is going to come at all, because it was originally supposed to fall quite quickly. It's just been pushed back and back and back as Leo Delmas, big wiggle, able to keep it together, but that cost him about 0.3 of a second. Very bad news for him. Miles has lost a little bit of time to Delmas and gained a chunk of that back. with that mistake there for the 20 car. See, Delm was pushing it more in that 8-9 chicane compared to Meyer. Same thing here in the hairpin. Delmas lost about 3-4 tenths in that mistake there, but he gained all of it back in just this section. So very lucky for him that his teammate didn't have the lap he would have wanted. Miles also closing, and that gap's back under 5 seconds. So we could start to see a 3-car battle within the next 20 or so laps for that final, for the last 2 podium places. I think if the rain holds out and we have a dry race, Delmas can do it. But if it does come, that throws a wrench into things, and I'm not sure who will be able to walk away with this podium, maybe even the win. Unsure how Raven performs in these wet weather conditions. See that gap under 5 seconds now as Leo Delmas cuts through the grass. Cost him a good chunk of time. He's going to have a big slowdown. Larry Miles might be in a position to capitalize here. Doesn't seem like it. That gap's 4.7 seconds. A big mistake there for Leo Delmas. He just kept pushing it further and further there in that second to last chicane, getting as much on his teammate throughout the lap, and it just was a little too much that time. Miles 4.4 behind the 20 car. That gap still coming down. Go, let's take a quick look at the scenery here. Try and see if we can see some of that sky. See it there. It's looking a little overcast off in the distance. You can see those darker clouds off in the by turn 1 further away, but they're still a good ways away. So yeah, a lot still to look out for on if the rain does end up showing up. Miles under 4 seconds now. Delmas seemingly made another mistake as Miles was able to close in a lot there. Delmas lost about half a second to his teammate. These guys all pit at the end of lap 14, so they should all be pitting right around lap 28-ish. So about 3, maybe 4 laps if they push it right off of the next pit stop cycle. So only after this it'll be 2 pit, so it's going to be a 3-stop race, maybe 4-stop. It's going to be close on that front. So we'll see where in that range the rain does end up falling. Seems like we're getting our rain updates every 10 laps or so. So in about 5 laps we'll get the next one, but that will be after the pit stops. Except maybe Casey Kellers, because he's been very nice on his fuel and tires. Seems like after we thought it was heating up for a quick second, the battles sort of stagnated. Delmas lost a little bit of time to Meyer, and Miles has started back to losing some time to Delmas. So I think everyone now is just waiting until the rain comes to see how that shakes things up. But there, Miles closed in just a little bit that time. 3.6 the gap now. So the battle for third might not be off just yet, but it's not looking like it's gonna heat up before we get to the pit stops. Almost staying out one more lap. If my predictions are right, we should be able to make it. They should be able to make it to lap 28. Maybe 29, but I don't think anyone except potentially Casey Keller is making it to lap 30. Who knows, maybe these guys saved a little bit more than the first stint now that they know the rain is getting delayed even further. A little scrape of the wall there for the 20 car. Everything's all good though, he's had a couple of those so far this race. He's also had a couple mistakes in this section of the track, able to keep it tidy this lap. He's definitely having to back down more than I think he would want to with how repeated those errors have been. Got back to 5.5 seconds on his teammate. Seems like Meyer potentially made a mistake there towards the back half of the lap. Take an eye back on our leader here. It's already about to cross the line on the lap 28. So you have to be curious here on fuel. Try and see if we can see any details on that gas. Don't see anything, no fuel warnings. So we're gonna ride on board here with Rick Raven this lap. See if he ends up diving into the pits at all, or if he's gonna stay out another one. Still not a single second of push to pass used, hasn't needed it all race. Looking very fast through that chicane. Pushing the car really hard through there. If you look, it seems Delmas may have made another mistake as Miles back down to 3.2 seconds. Things are seemingly just closing in with the pit stops. Getting word now, Tyler Justice retired due to weather in his area. Hopefully everything's all good with that front, as Jason Meyer, Leo Delmas are both in the pits, the rodent teammates, hitting lap 25, Larry Miles as well. So Rick Raven did end up saving a good chunk of gas. Meyer out of the pits now. Casey Keller stayed out. Let's see if he can stay on another lap. See how most of these guys ended up having to pit lap 28. Raven pushing it to 29. Keller might be able to make it to 30. See how far along the track Raven is. He's already to the final straight here on the run to the pit lane. Let's see if he dives in or is able to push another lap. He is going to dive in. Able to get stopped in time. Let's see where everyone else is, where they're going to come out around him, or where he's going to come out around them. Gaps are closing in. Meyer on that long straight towards the end. For Raven, already out of the pits. Let's see how much time he lost there, or how much time he gained, more likely, in the pit stops. Gained about, it seems like, a second. Another great stop on his end. Delmas lost a little bit of time to his teammate, and Miles closed in a good bit on Delmas. Casey Keller also not pitting once again, so yeah, he is going to push it to 30 laps. Larry Miles under 3 seconds now behind that 20 car. It's lap 30, so we might be getting another rain update soon.
Quick weather update. Looks like it's about 30 minutes out, but the chances are drastically dropping. We're at 25 and 30%.
So we might end up with a dry race. We started off with an almost guaranteed wet race. It's now dropping to a dry weather event. Very, very interesting. The rain was supposed to be very likely, according to the forecasts. Those forecasts are live updating, and we can see that that rain percentage is dropping. Raven now on the black walls. Was Meyer on? Meyer's also on those black walls. Same thing with Delmas. Miles now on the red compound, so everyone has changed their compound, except potentially Casey Keller. I forget what his tires were the last time out. So yeah, everyone starting to think this might be a dry race. Yet making sure their tire compounds are all up to code. Of course, following the rules that you have to change compound at least once in the race. Back to Miles, you can see there the rodent racing machine of Leo Delmas is now in his sights. That gap just over 3 seconds. Delmas just over 5 seconds off his teammate. See the battle looking like it might start heating up in this stint. These guys can make it to about lap 42 before they have to pit, so that's gonna, and that will be their final pit stops. Got about 22 laps to see if rain's gonna come. So might very well not. Who knows? Leo Delmas closed in another couple tenths there on his teammate. Miles lost a little bit, though, to the 20 machine. We'll see what the type of gain we see through this first sector. Not a lot. It's actually losing a little bit of time. You can see that Delmas, after scraping the wall, is also burning some push to pass down to 110 seconds. So he's gaining a good bit to his teammate Jace Meyer, who still has 130 seconds left. Took a little bit of curve there, Leo Delmas did. See with that gap, 4.7 seconds. Miles got it down to 3.5. Could see that drop back under 3 in the next lap or two. As on the right, you can see a little fog starting to develop. You can see the track's looking a little overcast. Trying to get some other angles here of the weather. Riding on board, you can see those clouds starting to form up. So we might very well get some rain, but not sure how much it will be. Our next update is in 6 laps. Our next weather update, so we'll see what happens around that time. Three and a half seconds and 4.5 seconds, the gap, fourth and third and second. Make that 4.2, little bit of a wiggle there Delmas had on the exit of 9. But you're still able to close that in. Let's see, through the hairpin, does that gap change at all? It does grow a little bit. Mid-corner, but on exit, it starts to drop a good chunk. Since we last looked on board, Leo Delmas has used 10 seconds of push to pass. Does he enable any this time round? Now, curious if the rain does come, what the push pass strategy is, because I'm not sure how much you're going to be using with how slick the track would be. Delmas keeping it out of the wall this time round. Gap 4.5 seconds, so seems like in this stint compared to those earlier first two stints, Delmas is faster in the back half, where Meyer is faster in the front. That gap 4.3 seconds now. Miles 3.1, so Miles closed in more to the 20 car than the 20 closed into the 21. Are we going to see that? Oh, Leo Delmas messed up. The hairpin ran deep. That cost him some time. That allowed Miles to close in 2.7 seconds. He's almost in slipstream range. We might start to see a usage of some of that push to pass as that gap keeps coming down. Under 2.5 seconds now, Miles and Delmas. Now if Miles and Leo close in too much, that might actually be a good for Jace Meyer, as that will protect him as the two cars will slow each other down. So if you're Leo Delmas, you not only don't want Miles to catch up, you really you don't for a second reason, and that's because that will hurt your chances of catching up to Meyer if you guys engage in a battle. So the 20 machine might need to start to push it a bit harder. He's made some mistakes here and there, which has been really costly. So we don't want to see those again. But he's going to need to turn up the car a little more, as he's losing time more than he has any other lap, really. I think he's starting to feel the pressure, as that gap's now under 2 seconds. Miles to Delmas. The 20 and the 30 are about to be going at it fairly soon. Let's see, Leo Delmas is going to set some good laps, and Jace Meyer is probably going to need to make a mistake if Delmas wants a chance at challenging for second place. Riding on board now, Larry Miles. Let's see what he can start to do here. Gap under 2 seconds. This is the closest it's been since lap 1. Or more likely lap 5, but very close since the first stint. See, Delmas closed in actually a good little bit. This lap gap 4.2 seconds now. You see that battle graphic that activates when the two cars are within not a lot of room. It's around 40 meters. When the two cars are in 40 meters, that battle graphic activates. So you can see that gap's closing quite a lot. Larry Miles dropped a little bit, around 4/10. Gap's now 2.2 seconds. But Delmas close to nearly a second this lap. Very impressive stuff from him. Under 4 seconds now, the gap. So I think Delmas might actually be able to close in to Meyer before Miles can close into him. Let's see what Delmas can do this time through the 8-9 chicane. Closes in a good little bit there. 3 or 4 tenths. Miles close in a tenth though to Delmas. So the whole field of Delmas and Miles closing in on this man here, Jace Meyer. You can see in the background his teammate and Larry Miles starting to etch into view. Still no sign on rain. We should get an update in the next lap and a half on the time, lap 40ish, on when the rain is looking like it might fall, if at all. I think further we go along, the less likely it is that's going to happen. So it looks like we're going to end up with a dry event here today. That was seeming to fall a little bit over 4 seconds now, as Larry Miles has closed the gap to under 2 seconds. Big scrape on the wall that time by. That helped Miles just a little bit. Another lock up there. Delmas starting to feel the pressure once again. Through the wall of champion chicane now. Delmas closed in a couple tenths there. Miles lost a little bit. These gaps are holding, fluctuating throughout. Every time you think one person's got the advantage, another person able to step it up just a little bit further. That gap firmly under 2 seconds now. It's been holding pretty steady in that 1.9 range. Every time it goes over, it's just for a quick little second. As if you look, Jace Meyer, he's closed under 13 seconds actually compared to Rick Raven. Raven might have made a minor mistake there. That actually is going to help the 21 as he's setting some fast lap times now. Miles now dropping back a bit further, nearly 2.2 seconds back now, so he's lost nearly half a second this lap. See, Meyer now under 12 seconds. Raven must have made some sort of error because Jace Meyer is closed in big time. Actually, we are approaching final round of pit stops. That could be the deciding factor of these things. So yeah, I think if we're going to see rain, which is looking less and less likely, it's not going to be a big enough sprout to cause drivers to go on the rain tires. Jace Meyer, under 11 seconds now. He might have started to figure it out. Or maybe...
This is your final weather update. It has dropped to nearly 0%. It will be a dry remainder of the race. 0 rain.
That's the official word there. Rain pretty much fallen to 0. It started out almost guaranteed.
That sucks.
Has dropped completely off the face of the earth here.
Yeah, it was looking promising that probably the last 20 to 30 minutes of the race was going to be rain, but it's certainly dropped. And like I said, now it's next to 0.
Unfortunate there for the weather people. We might have to wait another couple weeks before we see the rain finally hit the track here in the Indy Specials. Jace Meyer under 10 seconds now, nearly under 9. He's closed in quite a bit. Raven saving a lot, trying to push as Leo Delmas makes a mistake, snags the wall there after going in the grass. Miles is going to be able to close in big time off that. Delmas lost a lot there to his teammate. Larry Miles is closing in though, under a second and a half. See how quickly the cars are getting closer together. Miles first, Delmas for the third and final podium position. Jace Meyer, under 8 seconds. Did Rick Raven have an error of some sort? No, it was Jace Meyer coming into the pits. Delmas also pitting. Does Miles pit? He does. So Rick Raven and Casey Keller able to stay out once again. Very, very big for the race here. Let's see. Miles versus Delmas. That gap was coming down big time before the pit stops. Let's see what happens now. Second, third, and fourth position all in the pits right now. There goes Meyer, starting to make his getaway. Delmas out of the pits. Miles now. What do those gaps look like? They're holding fairly similar. It seems Meyer had a bit more on Delmas than he would have initially hoped for. Leo Delmas dropped back a little bit. Larry Miles also dropped back a little bit. Curious to see what happens with that. Casey Keller seemingly made a crucial error somewhere, because he ended up still behind everyone after the pit stops, and he didn't actually end up pitting. But Leo Delmas is close in big time to his teammate. That gap's under 3 seconds now. See how close all the cars are. Rick Raven, is he gonna come into the pits? No, he's not. Probably at the end of this lap. You see Meyer trying to warm up his tires as much as he can, because further back you can see Miles and Delmas are closing in. Let's keep an eye here on the 20 car. That gap 2.4 seconds currently. See behind the trees. Do that first chicane. Little scrape of the wall there. The gap to Meyer right now for Leo Delmas is actually closer than is almost closer than Miles is to himself. It is now. They're actually even currently, almost perfectly. The fight is going to be on soon with 9 to go. Might still see some racing out of today's event. Raven surely coming into the pits this time. No, he's not. He's able to hold it out another lap. He saved some big time fuel this race. I mean, he's got to be coming in soon. He can't make it 9 more. He can't make it a 25 lap stint. That's just not possible. Meyer pulled a little bit away from his teammate further back. Gap just around 2.5 seconds, but Miles has closed in a little bit. 1.6 seconds the gap. Miles is 1.5 back off the podium positions. As Rick Raven into the pits started to lose some big time to Jace Meyer. Let's see what that gap looks like on the exit. Afterwards, it's probably going to be right around 8 seconds, 9 seconds. So Meyer closed in a good chunk. But we'll all see very soon. Raven still not out of the pits. And now he is. Let's see what that gap's looking like. It's going to be dropping big time. There it is. 4 seconds, basically 5, is the gap. Rick Raven lost a good chunk of time that stop compared to Jace Meyer. As Larry Miles closed in. Big time gap, under a second now. The fight is on. Leo Delmas has lost some time to his teammate there, as Casey Keller's now into the pits. Able to hold out a lot. All eyes now to see how Larry Miles can deal with Leo Delmas, and if Delmas can hold out long enough to catch back up to his teammate, as Jace Meyer has closed in nearly under 3 seconds. Everything's starting to heat back up here in Montreal. Gap now nearly under half a second. Meyer under 3 seconds off Raven. Raven's going to have a lot more push to pass he's going to be able to use compared to Meyer, but with how little laps left, it might not matter that much. the Miles will have more than Delmas, and that will matter with how close they are. Eight tenths now the gap. Delmas is able to put on just a little bit more. Gap's now just growing over a second. Not what you want to see if you're Larry Miles. He's been on a fairly good streak on road courses of finishing on the podium. He wouldn't want that to end now, especially when his championship rival, Rick Raven, is the one winning this race. Meyer, I think, is starting to drop back a little bit from Raven. That gap is starting to grow. Once again, Raven's tires are now warmed up. So we're starting to see Meyer's chance of potentially walking away with the victory slipping away. But the fight for second between these three cars might end up just back on. The fight for third is certainly on right now. 6 tenths the gap. Delmas needs to close in a good chunk of time in the next couple laps if he wants a chance at taking second place from his teammate. As we need to see a mistake there from Rick Raven if we want someone else to win, as he's just faster than Jace Meyer. Miles made a bit of a mistake there that's going to hurt him. Seems Meyer might have made a mistake. He lost a lot of time just then, right around 2 seconds. That's what Leo Delmas needed. That gap's nearly under 2 seconds now from Delmas to his teammate. 6 to go. What we thought would be a rain race turned out dry. And now it's just up to Meyer, Delmas, and Miles to figure out who's going to be where. Both sets of cars under 2 seconds from each other. Delmas is going to have to manage his mirror, look in his mirrors behind him, keep that gap as big as he can, but also close in on his teammate. .8 seconds the gap, the 20 to the 21. 9 tenths the gap, the 30 to the 20. Still under 2 seconds between third and second place. That gap still slowly coming down. Miles able to make it cleanly through the first chicane that time round. Closing actually a good chunk now, down to 6 tenths. Make that 5. We could see something on the long back straight down to the wall of champions. The gap keeps coming down how it is. For Leo Delmas' sake, we're going to need to see another mistake from Jace Meyer, because Delmas has his hands full currently with Larry Miles. Delmas able to get the power down a little better than 30 this lap. However, that gap only half a second. It's not going to do too much. Miles isn't going to be close enough this time, but he's definitely making a point that, hey, the battle is surely on now. I'm here. On board now with the 30 of Larry Miles. Under 1.8 seconds now the gap is. Between the 20 and the 21, the 30 is only 3/4 of a second. As Delmas had a big scrape against the wall, that's not going to be good for him in any way here. 4 tenths now. They'll seem to have a little wiggle on exit. 3 tenths, under 3 tenths. Miles to the 20. See, Miles had a big wiggle on the exit of the second to last chicane. That brought that gap up a couple tenths. But Delmas misses the entire hairpin apex. They ended up actually getting a very good run from that. Able to salvage that mistake there and turn it into a neutral loss/gain. 4 to go, nearly 3. And it's still up for grabs on the podium. Rick Raven almost certainly the winner unless a late racer's mistake or unfortunate event takes him out again. But Larry Miles and Leo Delmas, that fight is on, and Jason Meyer and Leo Delmas might be on as well on the last lap. Miles made a little bit of an error there, pushing him back 7 tenths. Miles, right around 69 seconds of push to pass. Leo Delmas has 60. Jace Meyer has 50. Rick Raven actually used a lot. He's down to 94. Casey Keller down to 47. But Larry Miles, just over half a second, right around 3/4 of a second off third place. And Leo Delmas, that third place car, has actually closed in a little bit, now 1.4 off his teammate Jason Meyer in second. Two to go. Jason Meyer is going to need to make a mistake for Leo Delmas to take second place, but it's still very possible for Larry Miles to overtake third place just on pace with how close that gap is. A mistake would certainly help, but that's not needed as a big scrape with the wall Delmas had. That's going to close it in under 3 tenths into the second chicane now. All cleanly through there. You can see Miles already has the push to pass on, but with how little he's closing in, Delmas also does as well. Both cars pushed it a little too deep there. Miles more than Delmas. That's going to hurt him a little bit. He can't keep making those mistakes if he wants a chance at taking away the podium. Already on the push to pass. It's going to be on pretty much the rest of the race, as there's only going to be 1 lap to go. One lap now. If Meyer makes a mistake, that's going to give the position to Delmas, how close that gap is. And if Delmas makes a mistake, Miles is almost certainly going to be able to take that position from him. Look how close it is in this first part of the lap. Miles is going to want to be burning as much of his push to pass as possible. Seem to have a better run compared to Delmas through there. See, running out of opportunities for stuff to happen. Look how close it is, under a tenth. Miles had a little bit of a wiggle there. That's going to stop the overlap from happening. Is he going to send it here? No, he does not. He hangs back. Though Delmas runs deep. Miles missing his front wing. That took his front wing off. Miles is going to have to dive bomb it here if he wants a chance at it, because he has so much less downforce now. Though he also has less drag, so that might actually benefit him. Final lap, it's going to be Rick Raven walking away with the win here. Congratulations to Raven. Miles is going to end up taking Meyer is going to end up taking second. With Rick here, last moment, under 2 tenths, it's going to be Leo Delmas walking away in third place Rodent Racing 2-3. Rick Raven takes the win. Very, very lucky for Adelmas that there just wasn't more race left. But bad luck for Miles that he lost that front wing. Or that portion of front wing and wasn't able to challenge.
I lost it.
Rick Raven on his cooldown lap now. 5th win of the season, back-to-back once again.
And there really wasn't a lot I could have done. I just had to wait till he made a mistake or something, because this track is very stop and go.
You see.
But when he did make that mistake, it was at like the worst spot to overtake. So, shit.
Rick Raven, another win on the season.
Worst spot for losing it too.
Congratulations to him. Congratulations to Delmas on walking away with another podium. Congratulations to Meyer for, if I'm not mistaken, his first or maybe second podium of the season. Gonna be a good points haul for him today. But unfortunately for Miles, you can see there, missing his front wing.
Alright, Rick, Jace, and Leo, if you guys don't mind, head to the waiting room for interviews.
Oh, this time before the tire wiggle. He hooks it perfectly perpendicular. Impressive stuff for him there. Going crazy this time. Oh, now he's burning it down. There he goes. First time we've seen him do this in a long time. Congratulations to Rick Raven there on the win. Interview time. First up, we got Leo Delmas. See where he is. There he is. Alrighty, Leo, tell you up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you. Do you got me?
Yes, I do. Alrighty, well, after 53 laps, which we thought were going to be mostly in the rain, kept the rain held out, end up walking away in third. Talk us through what's going on in that race from your perspective.
Yeah, I would have loved personally a bit of rain. It will have changed things. It will be more of a fun race because overall it was more of a pacing race, trying to minimize the mistakes. No other driver too, which is very unfortunate. But yeah, just have to hold a constant pace, following my teammate Jace Meyer here, and yeah, overall nice little fun race I had.
Absolutely. Towards the end of it there, things started to heat up with you and Larry Miles. Talk us through what was going on those last 5 or so laps.
Oh yeah, Larry is totally on me. It will have get me, I think, in the there was 2 more laps. I think it will have get me. But yeah, unfortunate for me, I made a little mistake at the at one of the turn. I don't remember the turn 7 maybe. And yeah, I think I took his wing off in the process. So yeah, sorry for that. Yeah, I was under pressure here.
Absolutely. Yeah, this isn't our only race up in Canada. We also have next week out Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. You excited for that?
Yeah, I like most sport. I totally enjoy it in Super Formula. I think I enjoy it in IndyCar.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's very different. Very different skills required to master that track compared to this temporary circuit. Talk us through though. Your teammate Jace Meyer got in second. Was there any like team wars in place saying like, hey, what if we catch up to each other, we're not going to fight, or was it just sort of, or was it just a matter of you guys just never got close enough to really have that discussion?
Mostly for the team wars was like, who got the most pace in the car, got to be ahead. So it was a chase was the better pace of us, and yeah, he managed to stay ahead, and it's fine by me. He worked with the team orders.
Absolutely. And yeah, real quickly on the tires. I mean, none of us ever expected it to for a real slick tire strategy to come into play, but end up doing. Which tire would you say was your preferred compound that race?
I think I'll go for the primaries. The primaries were my main to go here. More attempts to keep during all these laps.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on third place, and we'll see you next week in Canadian Tire Motorsports Park.
Yeah, thank you. See ya.
Trying to put it here. There we go. Alrighty, next up, Jace Meyer, teammate of Leo Dumas. Jace, tell you up in the booth, you got me?
Yep, I got you.
Alrighty. End up after coming close to Rick Raven, coming close to your teammate, you end up walking away in second, and talk us through what was going on in that race. A lot of gaps fluctuating back and forth.
I mean, I wasn't confident going into it, to be honest with you. I thought I was going to crash early or the rain was going to mess me up. But as soon as I heard that the rain wasn't coming, I got more confident, especially with the strategy I had. And I mean, honestly, it was, from my view, a bit of a snooze fest. I wasn't really near anybody the whole time. I was just kind of turning laps and hoping to keep the gaps where they were. That didn't work out in every case, but it felt good. It felt like I actually could have struck at Raven for once, which was a nice little touch. Maybe better on next time.
Yeah, absolutely. Raven, towards the end, he actually burned quite a lot of his push to pass. But yeah, throughout the race, we kept thinking the rain was going to come, but as the race just got further and further along, we realized, hey, it's just going to miss us. So talk us through really what was your mindset there going into the strategy when you were preparing for the rain? Like what were your thinking going on there when you originally thought the rain was going to come down?
So my original plan was going to be to go alt primary and hope that somewhere during the second alt stint or final primary stint it rained. So I could just go onto the alts and then stay on the fast tire the whole time, then get onto the wet tire. But that kind of didn't end up happening. I switched my strategy around a little bit, seeing what the other drivers were doing and seeing the gaps and seeing that I could just stay consistent and secure a good podium finish for me and my team. And yeah, I mean, that's all there was to it. There wasn't much thought behind it, to be honest with you.
Absolutely. Your teammate Leo Delmas was hoping for the rain. What's your opinion on the rain in these cars? You in support of it?
Oh.
You against it?
Oh my god, it's a boat. They're boats. Especially with fixed setups, you can't do anything to them. There's not really much that you can change, in my opinion, that makes them, like, good. But I mean, you have to adapt to that as a driver, and that's something that I'll have to work on and improve on. So when the opportunity does happen, I'll be ready. That's the hope.
And do you think if there was rain, you would have been able to challenge Rick Raven for that win?
I don't know. He's really quick. I have no idea on that one.
Absolutely. Next week out, still up in Canada, we got a Canadian Tire Mosport. How you feeling about that race?
Looking forward to it. I like the track. I need to get some more practice time on it, get a feel for it, especially in these cars. They're very heavy compared to the formulas I like to drive normally. So it's just going to be a lot of adjustment and a lot of seeing what works, seeing what doesn't, and just kind of putting the car on the wall a few hundred times to get there.
Absolutely. And do you think we'll be seeing more of your teammates, Elliot Rolls and Eric Guillory, later on in the season?
I sure hope so. Elliot said he's going to be back from O-Sport, so I think so.
Wonderful. All right, yeah, that team championship is going to start heating up very soon.
Oh yeah, we're hoping to take that one home, for sure.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on walking away in second place. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's your highest finish so far this season.
Yep.
And yeah, we will see you next week at Canadian Tire.
Thank you very much.
That was Jace Meyer. Now time to interview your winner, Rick Raven, 5-time winner. You got me?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well, but probably better for you. You walk away with your 5th win of the season, back-to-back wins after a string of bad luck. How you feeling after this race?
I'm very, very depressed. Just so depressed. Nah, I'm feeling good, man. Feeling really good.
Absolutely. Yeah, talk us through what was going on in that race from your perspective.
Well, it's just normal procedure. Just try to get the pole. It seemed like we had the pace in practice, so we were able to get the pole and hopefully lead going into turn 1. and and then hopefully pull away. We started the race on the red tires, the soft tires, to try to pull a little bit of a gap, and it was just a matter of maintaining the gap. We were conserving a little bit of fuel because we knew we could push it after that first stint. We could push it one more lap because we almost made it. So we conserved on the second stint, and then I was able to get an extra lap on top of that for a lighter fuel load for that final stint. We weren't sure about the rain. I was kind of looking forward to the rain. That would have been fun, but Hightower kept giving us updates, and then he finally gave the final update, and it was like it doesn't look like we're gonna get any rain. And I'm like, oh man. And I heard Larry Miles say that sucks. I almost keyed up and said, I know, right? But I'm normally like laser focused on a race when I race. Like I said, I've been doing this 30 years, so I don't normally key up. But I almost keyed up and said, yeah, I know, right? That sucks. But hey, you know what? It's all good. We got a victory out of this, and so feeling good, man.
Absolutely, and tie a little more on that rain. Yeah, we all thought there was going to be rain pretty quickly on the race, but it just kept getting pushed back and back. Ended up
I
just
practiced in the rain actually. When I jumped in for a little practice, it was pouring down rain. I'm like, oh boy, this should be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, how was your confidence going in to if it was expected to rain? Where was your confidence with your strategy and with your ability to transfer between the two compounds?
It's funny. I never had to do that. I've run in the rain for fun, but I've never actually been in competition in the rain, so that would have been a little bit different. Confidence, I have none. I never have confidence going into a race. I always go into a race feeling like somebody's going to kick my rear end all over the racetrack. For some reason, I just never confident. I'm always something's going to happen. I'm going to hit something. I'm going to run into somebody. My VR is going to go out. My wheel's going to fall off the desk. I mean, there's always something. I never have confidence going into a race, so I wasn't feeling confident going in. Only until about the last lap because we were taking it easy, and I knew I had enough of a gap that what's his name wasn't going to be able to reel me in, even if he push to pass the entire lap. That's the only time I started feeling confident because I knew I didn't have to push it and I could just kind of roll it through the corners. No risk of the back end breaking out. I wasn't pushing, so that was about the only time. Other than that, if my VR went out on the last lap, I think I would have destroyed my man cave.
Absolutely. Well, yeah. After that final pit stop, you seemed to lose a good chunk of time to Jace Meyer in second. Was there just like some over driving, or were you just a little slow on the tire warm? Like the gap fell, I think 6 seconds that last stint.
Well, there was a couple of things. First of all, I stayed out a couple extra laps, and I was running in map 5, and I was switching between 5 and 8, so I knew I was going to lose about 1.5 seconds per lap. But I knew we had enough of a gap so we could do that. Then my vape fell off my lap, and I had to sort of reach down and see if I could find it. Fortunately, it didn't fall far away from the chair, so I was able to grab that real quick. That slowed me down. And then we went out there and set the fastest lap of the race on fresh reds. I saw that he was getting close, so we turned it up. And then once we got I think it was about 5.5 or 6 seconds, then we was just relaxed. But also they were on fresh tires too because they just stopped. And I was on old tires, so that also didn't help. That helped them close the gap, but that's okay. I knew we had the pace if it came down to it.
Absolutely, and for one of the first times this season, Larry Miles didn't end up on the podium, so that increased your championship lead a good little bit heading into next week at Canadian Tire. How are you feeling about that race?
Where is it going to be?
Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, baby.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's like a roller coaster. I love that place. That should be a close race, the whole way through. Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be a good show for the fans. And Larry Miles, I just want to say that's a class act right there. I sent him a message before the race. I said it's been a pleasure racing with you, because he's a guy who's fast, and he doesn't run into you to try to pass you. You could battle with him, and it's always clean. So it is. I just want to say, in public, for millions of people that are watching, Larry Miles is a class act. I love racing with that guy.
And I think we're gonna give a lot of people are gonna give him some extra support this race and next race because he is Canadian. This is his home. These are his home races. So yeah, big support for him throughout the.
Is that why the crowd booed when I was doing donuts?
I think that's why, actually. Yeah.
Oh man.
That must have been why. But But yeah, next race, Canadian Tire. You didn't have any teammates this time. Do you think you're going to get some more of them next time, helping you in that championship fight? Aftershock of that championship fight versus Rodent Racing.
Nope, not at all. These guys. I think there's 3 races in this whole season that they haven't shown up, both of them. So
Yeah,
I mean, if they can make it, fantastic. Get some points on the board for the team championship. I don't know what to expect. I hope that they can make it, and they're good dudes, and I like racing with them. And they're quick.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations to you. Anyone you'd like to thank here today for walking with your 5th win of the season?
First and foremost, I want to thank the Lord Jesus for dying on the cross for me. He's my Lord. He's my Savior. He's my Master. He's my comfort. He's my refuge. He's my wisdom. He's everything. He's my salvation. He's everything. Thank you, Jesus. And this one is for Billy Graham. I want to thank Jacob for being supportive as the team owner and having faith in me to hire me. He pays me very well.
He does?
Yeah, he's got a lot of money. He pays me real good.
I'm gonna have to take that.
That's why we're doing so well.
I'm gonna have to take that one up with him there. He owes me some stuff.
I want to thank Vantage for putting on the show. Hopefully we'll get a higher car count next time. I know that the summer's tough because people are busy on weekends, but it's a great league. It's run very well, and hopefully we'll get more. Congratulations to everybody who finished this. Jace was really quick, and so was Leo. They were both really quick. Fortunately, we were just a little bit quicker here, but they definitely kept the pressure on. I really couldn't blink. This is one of those races where you just couldn't make a mistake, because one mistake and they're going to be all over you. So congratulations to those guys. And let's see, anybody else? Oh, my wife. My wife's on the phone right now. Say hello, hon.
Hello. You are currently live on air. Your husband just won once again. Congratulations to him.
Yeah, thank you, honey. When are you coming home? Midnight? You better not smell like cologne. Yeah, goodbye.
Always the most interesting interviews.
Come home and feed me. Oh, come on. I want you barefoot in the kitchen. You can't get pregnant anymore. We're too old for that. But I want you barefoot. Make me a sandwich, okay? Okay, goodbye. That was the wife.
Yeah.
She's wonderful. She's marvelous.
Always a treat talking to you, Rick. Congratulations, you win. Go celebrate, and we'll see you next week in Canadian Tire.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you. That was your race winner, Rick Raven. That's gonna do things here. Close things out today. I have been your host, Elliot Lang. Don't worry, Nick is back next week for the Vantage Pro Series Season 3 Clash at Daytona on Friday. Thursday beforehand, we're going to have the finale of the Vantage Auto Stock Tour at Homestead, Miami. William Hightower, our admin, walked away with that championship last week on Thursday in Kansas. Saturday, we have the Vantage Indy Special League at Canadian Tire, as well as the VRL somewhere. VRL is also tonight. And on Sunday, we have V1 Europe. That's coming to a close fairly soon. Championship still very hot there. But that will do it here today. I have been your host, Elliot Lang, and we will see you next time.